everybody, good morning. It is 8:01 on this Wednesday morning, August 3rd. I always have to double check when I say the dates and the times because I always feel like August seems to not true. I don't know. It just seems weird that we're in August. I know that we're like 3 days in, but it still is just so fresh to me that I'm like, there is no way that we're in August already. We were just saying today during the show that it's crazy that WeFest is starting tomorrow. So anyway, thank you for joining us on this Facebook Live. I'm Kwon. Maybe you're listening later in the day through the podcast, or maybe you're even watching on our YouTube channel. Who knows? But if you didn't know, we now have an InForum YouTube channel, so you can find this later in the day as well to rewatch it if you want to, and then you can of course listen to it on your favorite podcast platform as well. Also, you can visit inforum.com/podcasts, and then you can just look for the InForum Minute, which will bring you right back here. Okay, as you guys probably saw by the caption of this Facebook Live, I am tracking some breaking news from overnight. And this was out of Moorhead. So we did confirm with the Moorhead police sergeant that they are investigating some possible gunshots just outside of a gas station. So officers were called to the Holiday gas station just off of 11th Street North right around 10 o'clock last night. And according to that sergeant, officers did find a shell casing there in the parking lot of that gas station, but they did not find any weapons of any sort. They also kind of looked through that scene for about a half hour to try to find any suspects or anyone kind of, connected to this whole incident. No one was there, though. We do know for a fact no one was hurt at the time. No one had to be, brought to the hospital or anything like that, which is the good news there. But that sergeant also says that officers are expected to pick back up their investigation sometime this morning at that Holiday gas station just off of 11th Street North. So if you're driving by that area, you probably could be seeing some squad cars out there. Don't freak out. It's just them kind of investigating and trying to find some leads in this case, so you can always stick with us for any updates in our evening newscasts. Okay, we also do know now the names of the 4 Fargo police officers who were involved in that standoff in Mapleton, the deadly standoff in Mapleton, and they are currently on administrative leave. So we're talking about Sergeant Travis Moser. He's an 18-year veteran with Fargo Police. Detective Josh Heller, a 6-year veteran. Detective Ryan Jasper, another 6-year veteran. And then investigator Jordan Cordy, he's a 4-year veteran. Now, all of those officers all are members of the Metro Street Crimes Unit. Right now, the North Dakota and BCI is investigating their use of force. So the man who was shot and killed by those Fargo police officers in Mapleton was 35-year-old Andrew Martinez. This all happened at a home just west of Prairie View Park at around 10:30 on Monday morning, and officers say that Martinez was having some sort of a mental health crisis because of a crime that he might have committed right before that standoff. So then he came out of the house armed with a rifle in his hand, and that's when those officers obviously shot him. It's unclear at this point if he actually fired that rifle or that gun at officers, but no one was hurt. So no officers were hurt or no neighbors were hurt at all. So we'll kind of keep you updated on that. I know that's going to be a big talker for a long time. So we'll stay on top of that for you and let you know what comes out of it. Okay, so today is your deadline to throw in kind of your 2 cents on 2 proposed ordinances for downtown Fargo vendors and performers as well. So there's a suggested plan that's coming out of the City Commission right now, and basically what it is saying is to, no longer give out permits for performers who use amplified sound, and then to increase the noise level threshold to from 50 decibels to 80 decibels. And that would be from 7 in the morning to 10 at night. So if you're not familiar with what that is, decibels, right? So 50 decibels is basically the average room noise. 80 decibels, though, is kind of what you would be hearing if you were standing next to a vacuum or if you were inside an airplane, right? So there's a website that you can go on right now just to leave a comment on these 2 proposed ordinances. All you have to do is go on fargond.gov/formal comments. Okay, really interesting local twist on this one, but we do know right now Ukraine is exporting grain for the very first time since Russia's invasion, and that could cause a ripple effect here. when it comes to our crop prices. So we actually are learning all of this information from a crop economist at NDSU. And he said that Ukrainian wheat, corn, and sunflower oil returning to the global economy is likely going to cause slimmer profits for our local farmers. But then the deal that was made between Ukraine and Russia is also freeing up some Russian fertilizer, and that is going to be lowering farmer costs. So of course, we'll kind of keep track of that for you. I guess kind of the question right now is how long these price swings are going to be lasting. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. Okay, 1 day away from WeFest in Detroit Lakes. Many of you watching probably already know what WeFest is. It's a few days of country music fun. There's a lot going on out at the Sioux Pass Ranch. Well, right now we're learning that these organizers are actually trying to get some more help when it comes to cleaning up. So there's kind of a need for cleanup help on Saturday and Sunday mornings from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they're hoping to, I don't know, get about a group of 20 people to help clean up the bowl in front of the stage and then some other areas around the campground. I've personally been there before, and I know that things can get pretty messy out there. So groups that help out, it comes with a little incentive. You get a free general admission ticket and parking. If you're interested in helping out and getting some of those incentives, you can call this number. It's 218-234-9513. Okay, we also know City of West Fargo has just approved its preliminary 2023 budget, and that is could be some good news for West Fargo homeowners. So no increase in mill levies, but each mill is now worth an extra $35,000. With no increase, the commission is assuming, we've told you guys this before, that voters are going to approve a half-cent tax increase for the city's police and fire departments. If that does not get approved, that's going to generate about if that does get approved, that's going to generate about $2.5 million. If it doesn't get approved, property owners could see an 11 mil increase to make up for it. City's final budget is due, it's going to be approved, on October 1st. Okay, I also wanted to let you know United Way of Cass Clay has now announced its pickup times for its school supply drive. So if you're not familiar with what that is, basically, United Way of Cass Clay helps raise money and helps get supplies to make sure your kids are all ready to go back to school, with backpacks and notebooks, things like that, right? So all of those pickups are going to be held at Shields Arena. So on August 9th and the 10th, you can pick up there from 4:30 to 6 in the evening. August 11th, you can go there from 11:30 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. United Way of Cass Clay is saying that this year they're really hoping to help out 6,000 kids in need. So if that's you, if you think that your kid could use a little help before they get back to school, you might want to check out Shields Arena there. Okay, also right now, more ways to save some money when it comes to a student studying healthcare. Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota right now, its Caring Foundation is offering 26 scholarships. So to be eligible, those students have to be a North Dakota resident, go to a North Dakota university, college, technical college of some sort, and they have to have completed at least their freshman year of college. And Blue Cross Blue Shield is saying that it's doing this because they want to combat the shortage of healthcare workers right now. If you're interested in applying, someone who's applying, you can refer them to the Blue Cross Blue Shield website. Applications are due on October 1st. Today is also the last day for North Dakota hunters to apply for the pronghorn license. So it's going to cost you about $30 if you're older than 16, $10 for people between 12 and 16. 2,000 tags are up for grabs this year, which is a little bit up from the 1,700 that was offered last year. All you have to do to apply for that is go to North Dakota Game and Fish website, gf.nd.gov. Okay, more on a national level of things, we saw that overnight House Speaker Nancy Pelosi went through a really high-stakes meeting with leaders in Taiwan, including the president, and that made her the highest-ranking official from America to visit that country in 25 years. That visit also, of course, comes with controversy that could escalate a lot of these tensions between the U.S. and China. And we're also learning that Pelosi had to take a 3-hour detour on her flight to Taiwan just to avoid any potential military conflict. So, of course, we'll watch that a little bit closely here, let you know kind of updates come, whether it's from, the U.S. or China. Also, right now, there's a bill on President Joe Biden's desk, and that bill aims to help veterans that have been exposed to toxic burn pits. So the Senate passed that vote 86-11. It's called the PACT Act, and it initially passed in the Senate, but then changes in the House forced a new vote, which Republicans did block last week. That bill expands healthcare benefits and resources for veterans, again, exposed to burn pits. That could provide coverage for up to 3.5 million veterans in the U.S. Also, right now, we know that a Watchdog group is calling for the Department of Justice to investigate these missing records or destruction of records relating to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. We got to look at some new court filings this morning that show the Department of Defense wiped the phones of key officials at the end of the Trump administration. So this Watchdog group is called American Oversight, and it filed a Freedom of Information Act against the Army to get the records from several officials that have been connected to the January 6th attack. They were all involved in the Defense Department's decision to send National Guard troops to the Capitol that day. We also have told you yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security is also under fire for losing some messages from phones from Secret Service agents, and they're saying that all of those were lost by accident during a data migration process. So we'll keep you updated on that as well. We also know that a federal judge in D.C. is allowing 4 police officers to sue former President Donald Trump. They have filed 3 lawsuits, and they're holding him liable for some injuries that they got during those riots. Trump arguing that he has immunity because his actions that day fell within his presidential duties. The judge rejected it outright, and his motions to dismiss those lawsuits, basically saying the exact opposite of what Trump was saying. You know, your actions did not fall under official presidential duties because they were concerned with his efforts to remain in office for a second term. So that is going on right now. All right, Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. High school football practice opens at midnight, so they're going to be going to one school that starts later tonight. Dick Bramer, voice of the Twins, he will be on to recap a busy trade deadline for the Twins. And then they, of course, play at noon today against Detroit. So lots to talk about on Hot Mic this morning. Again, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. And on InForum.com right now, we had this story on First News this morning. And this is the headline: Coalition aims to hinder Red River Women's Clinic move to Moorhead. So with Roe v. Wade being overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court, it's, you know, we've reported on this several times. The Red River Women's Clinic, the only abortion clinic in North Dakota, raised more than enough money to kind of, you know, start getting their move to Moorhead. Well, now this new pro-life group basically is saying that, you know, it's gonna start this whole thing, 40 days of prayer to make sure that they oppose this move to Moorhead, and it's called the Plan Action Group, I believe. So lots of details there. We even heard from a Minnesota lawmaker this morning on that. So if you want to hear a little bit more, read a little bit more about their efforts and how it's intensifying a little bit, you can do that right now on our website, InForum.com. Okay, also really quick before we go, I've been saying this kind of all throughout the week, but you can get your first 3 months of unlimited local news for just 99 cents a month right now. All you have to do to get that deal is go on InForum.com/subscribe. All right, we have news at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, so don't forget about our crew there. And then we'll be back here tomorrow morning, 5 to 7. Tomorrow is the start of WeFest, so it's going to be really fun. I'll be out there at the Sioux Pass Ranch. We were joking this morning that I'm going to have my cowboy boots on, my cowboy hat, all ready to go, getting into the spirits. So you'll want to tune in for a lot of fun tomorrow morning on First News. We'll be here tomorrow morning, 5 to 7. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.